To become a high-value woman, you must first understand that your worth is not defined by the opinions of others, the validation you receive, or the roles society assigns to you. True value comes from the alignment of your mind, body, heart, and spirit. It is the energy you carry, the integrity of your actions, and the clarity of your purpose that sets you apart. A high-value woman knows that her power is not in attracting attention, but in commanding respect through authenticity, self-discipline, and unwavering self-respect. This journey is not superficial, it is a transformation from the inside out, and it begins with a decision to honor yourself above all else, and to let that respect guide every thought, word, and action you take. The first step toward becoming a high-value woman is self-awareness. You must see yourself clearly, not through the lens of comparison, not through the reflection of others' expectations, but through the quiet truth of your own being. Self-awareness requires honesty, courage, and the willingness to confront your own fears, insecurities, and limitations. It is a daily practice of observing your thoughts, examining your emotions, and understanding your patterns of behavior. When you develop self-awareness, you gain insight into what elevates you and what diminishes you. You begin to notice the people, environments, and habits that drain your energy and those that uplift it. And with this knowledge, you make deliberate choices that reflect the woman you are becoming. Next, a high-value woman cultivates self-respect. She does not allow others to define her boundaries or dictate her worth. She understands that saying no is not rejection, it is an assertion of her principles. She protects her time, her energy, and her emotional well-being as if they were sacred treasures, because they are. Self-respect is the foundation upon which every other trait of a high-value woman is built. Without it, charm, beauty, or intelligence lose their power. With it, even the simplest gesture, a quiet word, or a confident silence radiates strength. You cannot demand respect externally if you do not honor yourself internally. Another essential quality is emotional intelligence. High-value women are masters of their inner world. They do not let fleeting emotions dictate their actions. They understand the power of pause, of reflection, and of responding rather than reacting. Anger, jealousy, or insecurity are not badges of passion. They are signals of imbalance. A high-value woman navigates these emotions with grace, choosing silence when necessary, speaking with clarity when needed, and maintaining calmness when chaos surrounds her. Emotional intelligence allows her to build relationships that are authentic, meaningful, and mutually enriching. It draws people toward her not because of superficial attraction, but because of the stability and warmth she embodies. Confidence is another cornerstone of high value, but it is not the loud, flashy confidence that seeks approval or dominance. It is quiet, unwavering, and rooted in competence and self-knowledge. A high-value woman knows her strengths and accepts her limitations. She does not pretend to be everything to everyone. She invests in her skills, knowledge, and passions, allowing her accomplishments to speak louder than her words. Confidence in a high-value woman is magnetic. It inspires trust, admiration, and respect. People naturally gravitate toward her because she operates from a place of assurance, not neediness. Independence is equally vital. High-value women do not rely solely on others for validation, security, or happiness. They cultivate financial, emotional, and mental independence. This does not mean isolation, it means empowerment. It means having the ability to thrive in any circumstance without being diminished by the absence or presence of others. Independence allows a high-value woman to engage in relationships from choice rather than necessity. She gives love and support freely, not because she needs to be sustained, but because she chooses to. This freedom strengthens her aura and deepens the respect others feel toward her. Another defining trait is integrity. High-value women are consistent in thought, word, and action. They honor their commitments, speak truthfully, and live authentically. Integrity builds trust, and trust is the currency of respect. When others know that a woman's actions align with her words, they instinctively recognize her value. Integrity also means taking responsibility for mistakes, learning from them, and refusing to compromise core values for convenience or approval. It is through integrity that a woman's inner strength becomes visible, radiating a confidence that cannot be faked or shaken. High-value women also cultivate curiosity and growth. They are lifelong learners, constantly evolving, exploring new ideas, and expanding their horizons. Intellectual growth fuels confidence and conversation, while curiosity enriches relationships and experiences. A woman who invests in her mind, who reads, who explores, who challenges herself, becomes more than just admired. She becomes influential. She understands that value is not static. It is cultivated daily through effort, reflection, and expansion. Growth is also a form of resilience. It allows her to adapt to challenges with grace and wisdom, rather than being overwhelmed by circumstances beyond her control. Self-care is another pillar. A high-value woman does not neglect her body, her health, or her well-being. She understands that energy, vitality, and presence are forms of wealth. Nourishing her body with proper nutrition, movement, and rest is an act of respect toward herself. Equally, she honors her mind with meditation, reflection, and time for stillness. Self-care is not indulgence, it is preservation. It allows her to show up fully, energetically, and gracefully in every aspect of life. When a woman prioritizes her well-being, it signals to the world that she values herself, and others follow suit. Finally, a high-value woman embodies grace under pressure. Life is unpredictable. Challenges, conflicts, and disappointments are inevitable. What sets a woman apart is not the absence of difficulty, but the way she navigates it. She does not succumb to panic, gossip, or impulsive reaction. She remains composed, thoughtful, and discerning. Her presence becomes a stabilizing force for those around her. In her silence, she carries power. In her actions, she demonstrates wisdom. And in her energy, she radiates an unshakable value that draws respect, admiration, and deep trust. Becoming a high-value woman is not about perfection, vanity, or status. It is about alignment. Aligning your actions with your values, your words with your integrity, your mind with your growth, and your heart with your purpose. It is a conscious, deliberate path cultivated day by day. It is choosing self-respect over approval, clarity over confusion, action over reaction, and peace over chaos. And as you walk this path, you will notice something remarkable. The energy you emit begins to attract people, opportunities, and circumstances that match your value. Life starts to mirror your alignment, and the respect you command externally reflects the honor you hold internally. A high-value woman is rare because it is a disciplined journey, not a trend. She is not defined by superficial beauty, fleeting attention, or social validation. She is defined by her energy, her presence, and the strength of her character. She understands that her value is inherent, cultivated, and sustained through intentional choices. And this awareness, this mastery, this radiance is what makes her truly magnetic, not to attract just anyone, but to attract those who recognize, honor, and align with her value. So remember this: your worth is your responsibility. Your value is cultivated through self-awareness, self-respect, emotional intelligence, confidence, independence, integrity, growth, self-care, and grace under pressure. Every choice, every action, every thought either elevates you or diminishes you. High-value women are deliberate. They do not leave their energy to chance, nor their destiny to randomness. They live with purpose, act with awareness, and honor themselves in every aspect of life. And in doing so, they command respect, inspire admiration, and embody a power that cannot be bought, faked, or taken. A high-value woman understands that her life is not dictated by external circumstances, but by the choices she makes in every moment. She recognizes that true value is built upon intentionality, self-mastery, and a disciplined approach to her thoughts, actions, and relationships. To cultivate this level of worth, a woman must first learn to honor her time and energy as her most precious resources. Time is the one thing we can never recover, and energy is what determines the quality of our life, our influence, and the connections we create. A high-value woman protects both fiercely. She does not waste hours in negativity, gossip, or distraction. She does not allow toxic people to drain her vitality. She makes choices that align with her growth, her purpose, and her peace. Setting boundaries is a hallmark of a high-value woman. Boundaries are not walls, they are a declaration of self-respect. When you set boundaries, you communicate clearly what is acceptable and what is not. You teach others how to treat you. Without boundaries, your energy is scattered, and your value becomes diluted by compromise. A high-value woman does not apologize for saying no. She does not feel guilty for protecting her peace. Every no she utters is an affirmation of her worth. She understands that by guarding her energy, she creates space for people, opportunities, and experiences that are aligned with her purpose. Boundaries are a reflection of self-love, and love, when rooted in respect, always attracts respect in return. Another critical trait of high-value women is discipline. Discipline is the bridge between dreams and reality. Without discipline, potential remains unfulfilled. A high-value woman cultivates habits that strengthen her mind, body, and soul. She invests in her health through regular exercise, mindful nutrition, and sufficient rest. She invests in her mind through learning, reading, and seeking knowledge. She invests in her spirit through reflection, meditation, and acts of service that nurture compassion. Discipline allows her to remain consistent, to pursue her goals without distraction, and to stand firm even when challenges arise. It is this unwavering commitment to self-improvement that distinguishes her from others who drift through life without direction. A high-value woman also cultivates self-confidence, but it is not the kind of confidence that seeks attention or approval. Her confidence is quiet, rooted in competence and self-knowledge. She does not need validation from others because she trusts herself. This self-assurance radiates in her presence, her posture, her speech, and her actions. People are drawn to her, not because of superficial charm, but because of the steady energy she embodies. Confidence allows her to navigate life with clarity, to make decisions without fear, and to attract opportunities that align with her values. It is magnetic because it is authentic. It is not performance, it is presence. Emotional intelligence is another cornerstone of high value. A high-value woman understands her emotions, but she does not allow them to control her. She practices awareness, reflection, and calm response. Anger, fear, and jealousy are signals, not instructions. She observes them, understands their roots, and chooses responses that honor her integrity and long-term goals. Emotional intelligence allows her to navigate relationships with grace, to communicate effectively, and to build trust with those around her. It also allows her to remain unshaken in the face of adversity, because she understands that life's challenges are not attacks, but opportunities for growth. Independence is essential. A high-value woman does not rely solely on others for her happiness, security, or identity. She cultivates financial stability, emotional resilience, and mental autonomy. Independence allows her to engage in relationships from a place of choice, not necessity. She loves freely, supports willingly, and interacts fully, but her sense of self is never contingent on external approval. Independence strengthens her aura, makes her presence powerful, and ensures that her life is guided by purpose rather than dependency. High-value women also understand the power of patience. Life rarely unfolds exactly as planned, and people are not always ready to recognize your worth immediately. Patience is the ability to maintain focus, discipline, and calm, even when progress feels slow or when recognition is delayed. A high-value woman does not rush validation or compromise her standards for immediate results. She understands that long-term consistency, integrity, and perseverance are far more valuable than short-term gains or superficial attention. Patience allows her to make decisions from clarity rather than impulse, and to cultivate relationships and opportunities that are sustainable and meaningful. Another trait is adaptability and resilience. High-value women face adversity with courage. Challenges, failures, and setbacks do not define them, they refine them. Resilience is built through experience, reflection, and the conscious choice to rise stronger after every difficulty. Adaptability ensures she can navigate change with grace, maintaining her integrity and focus regardless of external circumstances. Life is unpredictable, and a woman of high value does not surrender to chaos. She flows through it, learns from it, and emerges more capable, wise, and empowered. A high-value woman also embraces authenticity. She does not wear masks to please, manipulate, or conform. She is genuine in her intentions, actions, and interactions. Authenticity creates trust, attracts meaningful relationships, and amplifies her influence. When a woman is authentic, she does not need to perform to prove her worth. Her presence alone communicates her energy, her values, and her strength. People are naturally drawn to authenticity because it signals stability, clarity, and integrity. Finally, a high-value woman practices gratitude and generosity. She recognizes that her value is not only in what she achieves, but in what she contributes. Generosity is not always material. It is in time, attention, kindness, and mentorship. Gratitude shifts her focus from scarcity to abundance, fostering positivity, resilience, and inner peace. By combining gratitude with action, she amplifies her influence, uplifts others, and strengthens the magnetic energy that defines high value. To summarize, becoming a high-value woman is a journey of intentionality. It requires self-awareness, self-respect, emotional intelligence, confidence, independence, patience, resilience, authenticity, discipline, and generosity. Every decision she makes, every habit she cultivates, every relationship she nurtures either builds or diminishes her value. High value is not about superficial appearances. It is about alignment, mastery, and presence. It is the energy you radiate, the standards you maintain, and the integrity you uphold. A high-value woman lives deliberately, acts intentionally, and embodies strength in every facet of her life. When you commit to this path, you will notice the transformation. Your energy changes, your interactions deepen, and your influence grows. Life begins to reflect the value you cultivate internally. People respect you, opportunities align with your purpose, and you operate from a state of empowerment rather than neediness. This is not luck. It is the natural outcome of living with intentionality, integrity, and presence. A high-value woman understands that her life is a reflection of her choices, her habits, and the energy she brings into every space she occupies. She knows that true value is cultivated, not inherited, and it manifests through her presence, her integrity, and the way she navigates the world. Becoming high value is not about seeking attention, validation, or admiration. It is about creating a life that reflects self-respect, purpose, and mastery. It begins with the conscious decision to prioritize yourself, to honor your boundaries, and to operate from clarity rather than fear or neediness. The first aspect of becoming a high-value woman is developing a strong sense of purpose. Purpose is the compass that guides every decision, every relationship, and every action. A woman with purpose is not swayed by trivial distractions, societal pressures, or the approval of others. She understands that her time is valuable, and she invests it in pursuits that align with her long-term goals and inner growth. Purpose gives her confidence, focus, and resilience. It allows her to navigate challenges without losing direction, and it attracts people, opportunities, and experiences that resonate with her energy. A high-value woman knows that a life without purpose may be comfortable, but it is never fulfilling. Self-awareness is equally critical. Understanding your own strengths, weaknesses, desires, and motivations is the foundation of self-mastery. Self-awareness allows a high-value woman to make deliberate choices rather than react impulsively. She observes her thoughts, acknowledges her emotions, and identifies patterns in her behavior. This awareness is not a judgment. It is an understanding that empowers her to grow. By seeing herself clearly, she can eliminate habits, relationships, or environments that diminish her energy and cultivate those that enhance her life. Self-awareness is the lens through which she evaluates her worth, not the reflection others provide. High-value women cultivate self-respect in every area of their life. They understand that their value is not dependent on pleasing others or compromising their standards. They set boundaries that protect their mental, emotional, and physical well-being. Saying no is not selfish. It is an act of self-preservation and integrity. By honoring their needs, high-value women demonstrate to the world and to themselves that they deserve respect. They do not apologize for prioritizing their energy or for refusing to tolerate behaviors that compromise their peace. Self-respect is the core from which confidence, independence, and grace emerge. Emotional intelligence is another pillar of high value. A woman who masters her emotions does not allow anger, fear, or jealousy to dictate her actions. She observes these feelings, understands their source, and chooses responses that align with her integrity and long-term vision. Emotional intelligence allows her to maintain composure in challenging situations, build deep and meaningful relationships, and communicate effectively. It is a form of strength that is silent but powerful. She does not need to dominate or control situations, because her clarity, calmness, and wisdom do that naturally. Confidence in a high-value woman is grounded, not performative. She does not seek validation from others because she trusts her judgment, skills, and intuition. Her confidence is evident in how she carries herself, speaks, and engages with the world. It is quiet, steady, and magnetic. People are drawn to her because her energy communicates assurance, not insecurity. Confidence also empowers her to make tough decisions, take risks aligned with her goals, and navigate relationships with integrity. It is a natural consequence of knowing who she is and honoring that self in every action. Independence is essential to high value. This encompasses financial independence, emotional autonomy, and mental clarity. A high-value woman can thrive on her own without relying on external validation or support. She engages in relationships from choice rather than need, giving freely but never losing herself in the process. Independence strengthens her presence, allowing her to attract people and opportunities that respect her boundaries and align with her purpose. It ensures that her value is never contingent upon another person's approval or attention. Discipline plays a transformative role in cultivating high value. Discipline is the bridge between intention and action. It is what turns dreams into reality and potential into achievement. A high-value woman practices discipline in every aspect of her life. She maintains her health, nurtures her mind, manages her time effectively, and invests in her growth. Discipline allows her to remain consistent, even when motivation wanes. It is the structure that supports her long-term vision and amplifies the respect she commands from others. Without discipline, even talent, intelligence, and opportunity lose their impact. A high-value woman also embraces authenticity. She does not pretend to be someone she is not to impress or appease others. Authenticity builds trust and credibility, and it allows relationships to flourish based on truth rather than illusion. She understands that masks may bring temporary approval, but only authenticity sustains lasting respect and influence. Being genuine also empowers her to attract people who appreciate her for who she truly is, rather than those drawn to a fabricated persona. Resilience is another essential quality. Life will test her with challenges, setbacks, and disappointments, but a high-value woman does not succumb to adversity. She learns, adapts, and grows stronger through each experience. Resilience allows her to maintain composure under pressure, recover from failure, and approach obstacles with clarity and determination. Combined with patience, resilience ensures that she navigates life strategically, never rushed or reactive, always grounded in her principles. A high-value woman values growth, not just in herself, but in the world around her. She invests in learning, developing skills, and expanding her understanding of life. Intellectual curiosity keeps her mind sharp, her conversations engaging, and her perspective expansive. Growth is also spiritual and emotional. It is a continual evolution that ensures she never stagnates. By prioritizing growth, she cultivates wisdom, insight, and influence that extend beyond superficial appearances. Finally, generosity and gratitude amplify her value. She understands that her worth is not only measured by personal achievements, but by the positive impact she creates. Generosity of time, attention, and support strengthens her relationships and enhances her presence. Gratitude shifts her focus from scarcity to abundance, fostering positivity, resilience, and a magnetic energy that draws others naturally. A high-value woman knows that her influence grows not by taking, but by giving, without expectation, without compulsion, simply because it aligns with her energy and integrity. To summarize, a high-value woman is not defined by looks, social status, or fleeting attention. She is defined by her alignment with her purpose, her mastery of her mind and emotions, her integrity, and the intentionality of her actions. She embodies self-awareness, self-respect, discipline, confidence, independence, emotional intelligence, authenticity, resilience, growth, generosity, and patience. Every choice, every habit, every relationship she engages in either elevates her value or diminishes it. Becoming high value is a conscious, ongoing journey, a practice of presence, intentionality, and unwavering self-respect. When a woman commits to this path, she transforms not only herself but the world around her. Her energy shifts, her presence deepens, and her influence grows. She attracts respect, opportunities, and connections that mirror her internal worth. Life begins to reflect her deliberate choices, her consistent growth, and her unwavering alignment with truth. This is not luck, it is the inevitable outcome of cultivating value through mastery of self, presence, and action. A high-value woman understands that the world around her will always try to define her worth. There will be opinions, judgments, and expectations placed upon her, but she knows that her true value is determined internally, not externally. It is shaped by the clarity of her purpose, the strength of her character, and the depth of her self-respect. To become high value is to cultivate an inner authority that cannot be shaken by criticism, comparison, or fleeting admiration. It is to carry yourself with dignity, awareness, and deliberate intent in every interaction and every choice you make. One of the most powerful qualities of a high-value woman is intentionality. She does not drift through life, allowing circumstances or others to dictate her path. She makes deliberate decisions that align with her goals, values, and long-term vision. Every action she takes, every relationship she cultivates, and every opportunity she pursues is filtered through the lens of purpose. This intentionality protects her energy, amplifies her influence, and ensures that she is always moving in a direction that serves her growth. People are naturally drawn to this kind of energy because it signals clarity, strength, and authenticity. A high-value woman also understands the importance of self-awareness. She observes her thoughts, identifies her patterns, and reflects on her emotions. This level of awareness allows her to recognize when her energy is being wasted, when relationships are unbalanced, or when she is compromising her principles. Self-awareness is not about perfection, it is about understanding, learning, and evolving. It equips her with the insight to make better choices, to avoid unnecessary conflict, and to maintain a strong sense of inner alignment regardless of external pressures. Self-respect is another cornerstone of high value. A high-value woman does not allow others to treat her in ways that diminish her energy or compromise her integrity. She establishes boundaries and enforces them consistently, knowing that her time, attention, and emotional well-being are invaluable. Saying no is not an act of defiance, it is a demonstration of self-worth. By protecting her boundaries, she ensures that her energy is preserved for the relationships and opportunities that truly align with her values. Self-respect creates a magnetic aura that naturally attracts respect from others and deters those who seek to take advantage of her. Emotional intelligence distinguishes high-value women from the rest. They are able to navigate their feelings with clarity and respond thoughtfully rather than react impulsively. Anger, disappointment, and fear are not ignored, but understood and managed. A high-value woman recognizes that emotional stability is a form of power. It allows her to communicate effectively, resolve conflicts gracefully, and maintain her composure in challenging situations. Emotional intelligence is not only about managing one's own feelings, but also about understanding and empathizing with the emotions of others without being manipulated or drained by them. Confidence in a high-value woman is both internal and visible. She does not need to seek approval or validation from others because she trusts her abilities, judgments, and worth. This quiet, unwavering confidence allows her to act decisively, pursue her goals, and engage in relationships with authenticity. It is magnetic, not because it is loud or boastful, but because it is rooted in competence, integrity, and self-knowledge. Confidence also empowers her to face challenges with grace, handle criticism with poise, and maintain her sense of self regardless of external circumstances. Independence is another defining trait. A high-value woman does not depend on others for her happiness, identity, or security. She cultivates financial autonomy, emotional resilience, and mental clarity. Independence allows her to engage in relationships from a place of choice rather than need, giving freely without sacrificing her sense of self. This autonomy strengthens her presence and amplifies her influence, ensuring that her value is never contingent upon another person's attention or validation. Discipline is a critical tool in the development of high value. A high-value woman creates habits that align with her goals, maintaining consistency even when motivation wanes. Discipline allows her to invest in her physical health, intellectual growth, and emotional well-being. It enables her to follow through on commitments, achieve long-term goals, and maintain the standards that define her worth. Discipline also fosters resilience, allowing her to navigate setbacks without losing focus or composure. Through discipline, she transforms potential into achievement and intention into tangible results. High-value women also embrace authenticity. They are genuine in their interactions, transparent in their intentions, and true to themselves in every circumstance. Authenticity creates trust, attracts meaningful relationships, and amplifies influence. When a woman is authentic, she does not need to manipulate, perform, or conform to fit expectations. Her presence alone communicates strength, integrity, and clarity, and those around her naturally respect her for it. Authenticity is not only a reflection of self-confidence, it is a testament to the value she places on her own identity. Patience and resilience are essential in the journey of high value. Life will always present challenges, failures, and disappointments. A high-value woman does not allow temporary setbacks to define her. Instead, she views obstacles as opportunities to learn, adapt, and grow stronger. Patience enables her to maintain focus on her long-term vision, while resilience allows her to recover from adversity with strength and wisdom. Together they create an unshakable foundation, ensuring that she continues to thrive even under pressure. Finally, generosity and gratitude enhance a woman's high value. She understands that influence and worth are amplified by the positive impact she has on others. Generosity, whether through time, attention, guidance, or support, builds meaningful connections and strengthens her presence. Gratitude shifts her mindset from scarcity to abundance, fostering positivity, resilience, and an attractive energy that draws people naturally. By combining these qualities, she elevates not only herself, but also the environment around her, creating a life that is both influential and fulfilling. Becoming a high-value woman is not about perfection or superficial traits. It is about cultivating a life of intentionality, integrity, and self-mastery. It is about aligning your actions with your values, managing your energy, and creating an inner authority that commands respect without demanding it. Every choice you make, every habit you cultivate, and every relationship you engage in either elevates your value or diminishes it. High value is not a label, it is a lived experience, reflected in the way you carry yourself, interact with others, and navigate the world. When you embrace this path, you will notice profound changes. Your energy will shift, your relationships will deepen, and opportunities will align with your purpose. Life begins to mirror the internal standards you maintain, the boundaries you protect, and the integrity you uphold. Respect, admiration, and influence are natural outcomes of a consistent commitment to high value. It is not luck or circumstance, it is the result of deliberate choices, discipline, and mastery of self. A high-value woman understands that her worth is defined not by fleeting approval, appearances, or the expectations of others, but by her alignment with her values, her integrity, and the energy she consistently brings into the world. She knows that true power and influence are cultivated internally, reflected outwardly in her presence, her decisions, and the way she navigates every interaction. To become a high-value woman is not a destination, it is a continuous journey of self-discovery, growth, and deliberate mastery over one's mind, body, emotions, and actions. It requires dedication, patience, and the conscious choice to live with intentionality in every area of life. The foundation of high value begins with self-awareness. A high-value woman takes the time to understand her thoughts, motivations, desires, and fears. She reflects on her habits, examines the patterns in her behavior, and recognizes the influences that shape her decisions. This awareness is not about judgment or self-criticism, it is about clarity and empowerment. By understanding herself, she can identify areas that require growth, recognize what enhances her energy, and eliminate what diminishes it. Self-awareness allows her to operate from a place of conscious choice rather than reaction, ensuring that her actions reflect her true intentions and long-term goals. Self-respect is an essential trait of high value. A woman who respects herself sets boundaries that protect her emotional, mental, and physical well-being. She does not allow others to overstep her limits or dictate her worth. Saying no is a reflection of her standards, not a rejection of others. Protecting her time, her energy, and her principles ensures that she engages only in relationships and experiences that align with her values. Self-respect is magnetic. It communicates strength, integrity, and stability, compelling others to honor her presence naturally. It is a declaration that she values herself enough to demand respect without compromise. Emotional intelligence amplifies a high-value woman's impact. She understands that her emotions are signals, not commands. Anger, fear, jealousy, or disappointment are acknowledged, analyzed, and channeled constructively. She responds thoughtfully rather than reacting impulsively, maintaining composure even in challenging circumstances. Emotional intelligence allows her to navigate complex relationships, resolve conflicts gracefully, and build trust with others. It also ensures that her energy remains centered, preventing external negativity from destabilizing her peace. By mastering her emotions, she demonstrates strength, wisdom, and the stability that naturally commands respect. Confidence is another cornerstone. A high-value woman's confidence is grounded, authentic, and unwavering. She does not seek validation from others because she trusts her abilities, her judgment, and her intuition. Her confidence is reflected in her posture, her speech, and her presence. It is quiet yet powerful, attracting people and opportunities not through superficial charm, but through the natural authority of a woman who knows her worth. Confidence allows her to pursue her goals, engage meaningfully in relationships, and face life's challenges with resilience. It is both the shield and the magnet of high value, protecting her from insecurity while drawing respect and admiration naturally. Independence is vital for a high-value woman. She cultivates autonomy in thought, emotion, and action. Financial independence ensures she can sustain herself and make choices aligned with her goals without compromise. Emotional independence allows her to love, support, and connect without dependency, maintaining her boundaries and her dignity. Mental independence enables her to think critically, make decisions with clarity, and resist manipulation or pressure. Independence empowers her to participate in life from a place of strength and choice rather than need, creating freedom, balance, and influence in every aspect of her existence. Discipline is the engine of transformation. A high-value woman recognizes that growth, achievement, and mastery are products of consistent effort, not fleeting motivation. Discipline allows her to maintain her health, expand her mind, and cultivate her skills and talents. It is what enables her to persevere through challenges, follow through on commitments, and uphold the standards that define her value. Discipline ensures that her life reflects her long-term vision rather than temporary impulses. Through discipline, she builds resilience, confidence, and credibility, qualities that are foundational to her high value. Authenticity is the hallmark of her presence. She does not wear masks, perform for approval, or conform to expectations that compromise her identity. Authenticity builds trust, attracts genuine relationships, and magnifies her influence. A high-value woman knows that authenticity is more compelling than superficial perfection. Her transparency and integrity create a magnetic energy that draws people, opportunities, and experiences that align with her values. She understands that her true worth shines when she is unapologetically herself, and that pretense only diminishes her power. A high-value woman also embodies patience and resilience. Life is unpredictable and challenges are inevitable. Setbacks, failures, and disappointments do not deter her. Instead, they refine her character, deepen her wisdom, and strengthen her resolve. Patience allows her to remain steady, maintain perspective, and wait for the right opportunities, rather than settling for what is convenient or immediate. Resilience ensures she can recover, adapt, and thrive in the face of adversity. Together, these traits create a woman who is unshakable, graceful, and admired, not because she avoids hardship, but because she navigates it with strength and insight. Growth is central to high value. A high-value woman invests continuously in her mind, body, and spirit. She seeks knowledge, develops skills, explores new perspectives, and challenges herself to evolve. Growth ensures that she never stagnates, remaining relevant, adaptable, and empowered in an ever-changing world. Intellectual curiosity enriches her interactions and perspectives, while spiritual and emotional growth deepens her resilience and presence. A commitment to growth signals to the world that she values herself and her potential, reinforcing her influence and stature. Generosity and gratitude elevate her impact. A high-value woman understands that her worth is amplified by the positive influence she has on others. Generosity, whether of time, energy, attention, or support, builds meaningful connections and strengthens her presence. Gratitude shifts her mindset from scarcity to abundance, fostering joy, positivity, and magnetic energy. Together, generosity and gratitude create a woman whose value is felt deeply by those around her, enhancing her influence and ensuring that her life radiates purpose, fulfillment, and respect. Becoming a high-value woman is not about fleeting trends, external validation, or superficial charm. It is about aligning your actions with your principles, mastering your mind and emotions, and cultivating a life of integrity, discipline, and authenticity. Every choice, relationship, and habit either enhances or diminishes your value. High value is a reflection of internal alignment. It is the way you carry yourself, the standards you maintain, and the energy you bring into every interaction. When a woman commits to this path, she experiences transformation that extends beyond herself. Her energy changes, her relationships deepen, and opportunities align with her purpose. Life mirrors the consistency, discipline, and intentionality she cultivates. Respect, admiration, and influence become natural outcomes of her unwavering commitment to self-mastery and high standards. This is not luck or circumstance, it is the inevitable result of living with integrity, clarity, and alignment with one's true worth.